Hello, everybody. This is Rewrite Your Reality with Reese. I am your host, and today I'm going to discuss the logic of creation, how this stuff unfolds. This bridge of incidents, how to make sense of it, how to use it, that kind of idea. Now, a lot of teachers have a lot of methods that they say, and then they'll say something like, "Forget logic." Right? Manifestation is not logical. You don't need logic. You just need belief, and you just need faith. I don't actually believe that. Not in that way, in any case. I understand that logically you can't tell how something is going to unfold. That makes perfect sense, thereby being logical. You can't see how something is going to happen. You don't know because you don't have the awareness of all the pieces. That's perfectly fine, right? For example, you don't know how a car usually works when you put the engine on, but you know it does, right? Because you're not aware of all the pieces. You're just not aware of it. That in and of itself is logical. So don't try to be aware of all the pieces you can't, right? It's basically that. They're basically saying don't try and be aware of all the pieces you can't. I don't know why that's illogical, but apparently it has divulged into that, right? I believe it is actually the opposite. We are all God. We are all consciousness. That consciousness, God, made itself make sense. Just because you don't understand it from every level doesn't mean it doesn't make sense at every level to itself. And you are God experiencing itself. So what you are currently making sense of must make sense. Your desires, your dream, the way your reality unfolds, it makes sense. It must make sense. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to have faith or consciously create or experience it at all. It can't be purely random. It'll seem purely random the more asleep you are, unconscious. But if you are conscious, you know that your focus is creating your reality. So the more conscious you are, the more logical it seems. It's kind of like a very roundabout way. But it's not that the more logical you are, the more consciously you'll see it. It's the more conscious you are, the more logical it seems, or it becomes, rather, you become aware of. Because logic can fail you at this if it's only logic. You need consciously to observe it and observe the logic behind it, right? So, universal logic, God made itself make sense, right? Here's the truth. If creation, reality itself, was truly chaotic and senseless, you wouldn't even be able to recognize any kind of pattern. But because there is a pattern, you understand and have faith that there's something greater than you at work. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have the idea of religion. A lot of people say it was made to control the mind, but it's not that. It's the mind seeing that there is a control at work, right? You wouldn't even know how to ask, how did this happen? Why am I here? What can I create? Why do I have a dream life that I'm pointed at? And that's every single person who has ever lived a dream life. They wanted to achieve something, typically in sport or business or whatever it is, right? I want to go to the moon or whatever. And then they were pointed in that direction and it happened, right? We can chalk it down to hard work or luck or whatever it is, but they were pointed in that direction. They just never veered off. Not long enough anyway. Right? There's a logic baked into existence itself, and that's why I believe logic is paramount. Consciousness first, but that consciousness provides the understanding, which is logic, right? What you focus on is what you experience. It's not just some feel-good mantra. It is actually how things operate, right? Because there is an operation to what's going on, it must inherently be logical to a certain viewpoint, right? Because if it wasn't true, you wouldn't even be capable of having faith. How can you have faith in something that's completely random, chaotic, and illogical? There wouldn't be something to have faith in. There has to be something repetitive that you're having faith will repeat itself, right? You're having faith in repetition. You're having faith in the repetition of an outcome, or the method of an outcome, rather, right? You believe in something because it follows some pattern, because it's made itself obvious to you that this is what it's doing, right? Even if you can't explain all the steps, faith is the recognition of something repeatedly happening that you have faith in happening again, right? What else can it be? right? It's not luck. Otherwise, some people wouldn't do the same thing over and over and over and have the same result over and over and over. It's not luck. And I came up with the prism rainbow metaphor. Probably not new, but whatever. Imagine reality as a singular beam of infinite light, not traveling anywhere, just is. And an infinite number of prisms that exist, and every prism is a point of consciousness. And that same light splits itself into an infinite number of directions. It's exactly the same reality, exactly the same content, an infinite number of ways, and that prism is splitting up that content into an infinite number of ways, and one of those prisms is you. You are the light, you are the prism, and you are the outcome of that prism as this infinite multicolored rainbow experience of life. That's what you are. It's your beliefs, your desires, your expectations. It's that. And every prism is another point of consciousness having their own experience, right? And all of those shapes, all of those pure light, all of that pure light, all of it, it's your experience of reality, right? That's why certain dreams feel so good, because they just resonate with your core experience of abundance, of love, of infiniteness, right? They're colors that just resonate with you. Yeah, sure, you see billions of people, and you have to understand that you have a relationship with every single one of them, because reality is infinite. But from your viewpoint, certain ones just mean more to you now, and that's fine. Every one of these gurus, including myself apparently, has some sort of method, but the methods are all the same, right? How to consciously use this logical pattern of repetition. We call faith, logic, manifesting, conscious creating, remembering, whatever. So here's mine. But it's more of a thing you're already doing, right? Recognize that you have a desire. That's the easy part. Everyone does that, right? You have a desire, you have an impulse, you have a wanting, a longing, an awareness of a physical reality you want to experience over and over and over as it unfolds. Step one. Imagine it. That was step one. Step two. Imagine it vividly, not as a wish, but presently experiencing yourself winning. Why would you do something else? If you want to win a tournament, why would you experience anything else except for standing on the podium waving the trophy, or scoring that last shot to win? Why would you do anything else? Why would you not hit a home run to win the game? Imagine yourself hitting the home run, because that's the feeling of that heightened experience. Oh, this one, yeah, that's I'm gonna do that. Here's the problem. A lot of people, when they imagine that, they start to focus on doing that. Not why you have experienced it, but what you are doing. You try to make that happen, right? You imagine yourself hitting that winning shot or winning that thing or whatever, and then you try to make yourself win. Instead of just saying, that's what I imagined winning. That's what I'm going to go forward as. I'm not going to try to make that shot happen. I'm just going to go forward as what I believe that to be, right? So not hoping, not one day, I'm going to travel the world, but I am doing this thing that I am doing. I'm experiencing it right now with the intention that this is my experience. Let everything else be background noise. The losses, the lack of money, the whatever, the doubt, the thoughts, the how, the anxiety. Let it just be there, because it doesn't do anything. It's part of the experience. Of course, you're going to doubt it. Right? Return to the feeling naturally. Go back to that dream because it just feels so good. Right? And then reality will present itself to you because it's you. The circumstances will unfold naturally. They'll come to you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go look. It'll just seem natural to you. And sometimes there's nothing for you to do. You don't have to look for something to do, right? You're walking across a bridge of incidents because you say so, right? You can't force the bridge to be any shorter. Right? You wouldn't want to. You'd fall off a cliff otherwise. The doubts we all have, right? How do I know it's working? How do I know that? I know Abraham Hicks has this GPS thing and it feels good. If it feels really good, warm, fuzzy and wonderful, probably working. That makes sense. Doesn't feel good, probably pointed in the wrong direction. It feels good, you keep doing it. God made you feel good, so you keep doing the thing that makes you feel good. Right? Don't get confused with getting high on certain aspects of life and thinking that feels good. No, that's not that. right? What if I get stuck and nothing is changing? Well, that's impossible. Everything must be changing. You're probably trying to force something. That's not logic, that's control. Return to your dream and let yourself naturally unfold. Do I need to affirm 70,000 times a day? No, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that God made some method of affirming 70,000 times a day, or tricking yourself, or falling asleep to whatever. They're all fine. They're all fine, wonderful things to do. But here's the thing. What's the through line of those techniques? It's you're focusing on your end. That's it. It's the focusing on being that identity. All the affirmations, all the sleeping, all the SATs, all the methods, all the subconscious this and that, whatever. It's all just you putting your attention on that what you would like to be and experiencing it now. That's your reality. That's literally all. If it's 70,000 times and you do it 60,000 times, does it mean you're not going to get the thing? No, that's illogical. That's illogical. Why would there be a magic number for you to say a certain amount of things? It doesn't make sense, right? So there mustn't be a magic number to say a number of things. There must only be one, because there's only one reality. There's only one God. There's only one you. There's only one experience of reality, and that is reality itself as I am. So when you say I am, you're doing it once. It's only ever one time. Even if you say it 70,000 times, you only ever said it one time, for the very first time, over and over again. What if I doubt or feel bad sometimes? That's human. That's just part of the story. That doesn't matter. You can cry the whole day. It makes no difference, right? That's human. It doesn't cancel out anything. You're going to feel stuff, feel it fully, and cry your eyes out. Be happy, be joyful, be whatever. That makes no difference. Return to the assumption that this is mine, this is who I am on that path, it's unfolding perfectly, and there's nothing I need to do. That's it. So, when you apply this over a global experience, you realize everything is unfolding perfectly, that you are space-time unfolding your bridge. The actual universe unfolding is your bridge of incidence. It's not specifically a thing that you are walking specifically in reality. Reality is the bridge. Your specific universe is the bridge. Your specific universe is the bridge of incidence, right? So your specific universe is your specific bridge of incidence. There's no bridge of path that you're walking in 3D reality. Your experience of the entire universe of your 3D reality is your bridge of incidence, right? We get confused. We think bridge and we think like a road in the 3D where this road leads me there. No, your actual physical reality of reality is your entire bridge. Everything is the bridge. Everything in reality is the bridge, because everything in reality is brand new, and everything in reality, if it is brand new, it must have come from somewhere as an assumption, and if it comes from the assumption I am in my dream life, everything in that reality must be your bridge, piece by piece, brick by brick, and you are experiencing yourself walking that bridge brick by brick, but you might as well be walking as reality, because that is true. You are walking as reality in reality. So, final thoughts on that. You are not creating anything. You are basically rearranging what reality is from the infinite, right? God made itself make sense. So what you focus on is your reality. What you are living from as an assumption is your reality, and it's unfolding for you, through you, and as you. That's it. So, I am your host, Reese. That was a bit of a long one. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the liking. Thank you for the subscribing. Thank you for the sharing and joining on my Facebook page. Thank you for the TikTok following as well. If you want to ask me something, you can do so on Facebook itself. You can email me if you want a more personal approach. That being said, much love, much light, and I will see you all in the next one.